we had a busy day in the NFL. We're going to get to that relatively soon. Welcome to the Thundercloud Sage. I was worried you were going to be absent. I didn't see a comment. Had me a little worried there, needless to say. All right, this will be a shorter stream, but there's actually quite a bit to go over. So I know Sage has been aching and he's been waiting all day, not just for a donaire, but he wants to hear what's going on in the NBA world. I'd say relatively perfect. Relatively perfect. Now, the NBA news does involve the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. So, remember last night or the day before when I reported when Malik Beasley was cleared of his gambling charges? Well, it looks like the Knicks want to sign him. Do I know if he's any good or not? I don't know. He's probably pretty good, but I'm not doing a deep dive. I really don't care if he's that good, frankly. He's a shooting guard, and I'd say a backup shooting guard for the Knicks. So there you go. There's your NBA news. Until tomorrow, that's all you're going to get. All right, let's get baseball out of the way. Baseball, Jays are kind of getting lucky lately when they lose. So today, they did lose 5-3 to the Florida Marlins. They were up against a pretty damn good pitcher. 6'8" Yuri Perez of Team Rodfather took care of business. He had wasn't really the strikeouts that was impressive, but he was hitting 99 miles an hour. So definitely a hard guy to square up there. Kevin Gossman, I mean, I don't think it was really his stuff, but he did allow 4 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. Did have 7 strikeouts though, so not a great game, but not a terrible game either. The bullpen did relatively meh job. Like, one was good, one wasn't so good. So Uriel Rodriguez let an earned run, 2 hits in an inning pitch. So he's been in a bit of a cold spell lately. I don't think it'll sustain, of course, but definitely not great. Paxton Schultz was scoreless in 1 inning pitched. Kind of forgot that he even existed. I think he'll be sent down, though. I think they keep just flip-flopping him up and down sort of thing. He's got good options and that sort of thing. Offensively, we had 4 hits combined. I think, 2 of them were from Bo Bichette. So he had went 2 for 3 with an RBI, or a run scored, and a walk. I think he's on a 17 or an 18 game hitting streak now. So definitely hot. Dalton Varsho was 1 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBI. So unsustainable, absolutely, but I think that's 15 home runs in 45 or 49 games now, so quite a bit of production there. Again, not going to sustain. You're not going to hit a home run once every 10 at-bats. That's something that Barry Bonds does, right? So we fall to 76 and 55. The bright spot is that the Yankees lost, or won, I should say, to the Red Sox, so we're pretty much in the same position that we were yesterday. So Boston's 5 games back of us. So that's the same as yesterday. The Yankees, though, do gain a game, obviously. They were 6.5 back. Now they're 5.5 back. So could be worse. We're in a good spot with what? How many games do we have left? Let me just quickly check. I mean, we got to beat the Twins. We did just beat the Marlins, and the Marlins are pretty good, but I don't know. Kind of losing to the Pirates kind of sucks. Would have been nice to take that series, but I think they've been playing pretty hot baseball for the last 4 to 6 weeks. So I don't think it's as bad as some people try to make it out there. All right, that's that for that portion of baseball. Let's go to the Fantasy League, and there was the tides returning a little bit today in fantasy baseball. I saw the scores kind of getting flipped the opposite way. So the scores today, we got 8-6, the Dark Sliders over Nets. Astounding teams. We got 1 week left. We got a 7-7 tie ball game between Alejandro's Astounding team and Vlad the Impalers. And then we've got almost a tie between Graham's Great Team and Bases Loaded IBB. It's a 9-7 affair in favor of Graham's Great Team. Looking to take the shit bowl, basically, is what we've been calling it. So, or the toilet bowl, I guess I should say. I'm going to take a quick look at what Sage is saying. Sage says should be an exciting ending. Probably best that we do go with the 2 weeks. It does balance things out quite a bit, I think. So I think the 2 week playoffs make it a bit more fair in case, early on in the matchup someone gets a big, bunch of pitchers going. I think it balances it out pretty good. Sage is starting to pay a bit more attention after today. It adds a bit of flavor. It definitely adds a bit of flavor. I do agree with that. Surprisingly, the NFL was kind of busy today. So obviously what's going on there is people are making trades because the cuts are coming up. I think the cuts are coming up not tomorrow, but the day after. I can double check that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So unless you think I'm wrong, you can kind of double check it. Now, I love when people report stuff that's not news. So I'm going to give you an example of it. So this is a report on Roto World. They're basically saying 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan said that Brian Robinson will be the team's number 2 running back. How's that news? How is that even worthy of being reported? It's like they just put all this shit into the aggregate just to fucking get clickbait left, right, and center. Kind of foolish, right? Let's get to real news, though. The Eagles were involved in 3 trades today. So August 26th at 4 p.m., that would be Tuesday at 4 Eastern. So I expect there'll be some more trades tomorrow. I mean, these aren't going to be groundbreaking trades, but, you're going to see teams flipping, 6th and 7th round picks, that sort of thing, for players that they want that they might not be able to get that are potential cut casualties, right? Now, the Vikings made a trade with the Eagles. So they said they sent Sam Howell, former quarterback for the Redskins, to the Eagles for a 2026 5th round pick and a 2027 7th round pick. So Sam Howell has a bit of playmaking ability, I would say, but I think that is his role. Obviously, he's not going to go and start in Philly or anything like that. That is his role as a backup. He could potentially be one of the best backups in the game. And if you put him on Philly, I mean, and you need him for 4 or 5 games, I mean, you can probably win with him given that they're going to have a run-heavy attack until Saquon Barkley gets injured, which I'll say it right now, I bet you Saquon Barkley gets injured this year and misses sustained periods of time. Saquon Barkley, yeah, he's a horse when he plays, but he doesn't play a lot in a lot of the years. So, we'll see. They might have A.J. Dillon playing later this year if old Saquon goes down. The Vikings replaced Sam Howell with Carson Wentz. I mean, Carson Wentz used to be very good. Carson Wentz, one of those quarterbacks. I mean, he's an okay backup. Any given day, he can light it up, or he can go the other way. So, I get the move. They wanted Carson Wentz. They got some draft capital for Sam Howell. So, I'm not saying it's a bad move. And Kevin O'Connell's definitely a bit of a quarterback whisperer. I think you would say after what he did for what's his face there, Sam Darnold last year, which I think we were talking about him last year. We expect a huge regression from him, as we should, I do believe. Former Packer Samori Toure was released by the Chicago Bears. Not really a surprise there. He was a former, I believe, 7th rounder that I liked. Thought he could be a good little guy out of the slot, but he never panned. I don't know if this is potentially... I don't know. Jaden Blue suffered a low ankle sprain on Saturday. It sounds like it's not overly serious or anything like that. I think it's usually the high ankle sprains that we worry about. Buccaneers waived a guy named Shiloh Sanders, safety. Heading to the waivers. Don't think it's a notable move. We do have the Raiders losing Aiden O'Connell for 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured wrist. People are trying to connect the dots and say that what's going to happen is they're going to sign Ryan Tannehill. But correct me if I'm wrong. Ryan Tannehill didn't play last year, and I don't think he played the year before. Or he might have played the year before. Oh, did they get rid of one of Deion's kids? Oh boy, Deion's going to fucking lose his goddamn shit. But correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan Tannehill, he hasn't played in a long time. Let me take a look here. Well, I'd retire or semi-retire too if I lost to Will Levis. Or Will Levis. So yeah, he hasn't played since what? Midway in the 2023 season, so he wasn't great. I mean, it just seems like a long time to miss and then come back. I mean, maybe he can do it. He's a game manager, so potentially he could come in and back up for a little bit. Oakland's probably going to run the ball a little bit there. We had another trade to announce, and that is the New York Jets trading Derek Nottie to the Chiefs for a swap. It's basically a conditional 7th and 6th round picks. Okay, I don't know the details there on what the conditions are or anything like that. It's not going to be a big trade, let's just put it that way. The Vikings released Brett Rypien. Well, you don't need him after you get Carson Wentz. That makes sense there. The Browns released Tyler Huntley. Well, Tyler Huntley was, not very good. Let's not kid ourselves. And they're not going to keep 5 quarterbacks, right? So that doesn't make any sense to keep him. Rams waived a guy named Dresser Wynn, quarterback, okay. Good first name, though. Vikings waived Silas Bolden, wide receiver. The Bills released Trey Herndon, defensive back. The Browns waived Sal Cannella. These aren't really big names. The Eagles got rid of a quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Well, it makes sense when you pick up Sam Howell. Jets waived a quarterback, Adrian Martinez. Never even heard of this motherfucker. Cowboys are releasing Lael Collins, offensive lineman. He just turned 32 not that long ago, so kind of makes sense. Buccaneers waived Trey Avery. These are not the moves I'm really looking for. Yeah, kind of interesting. Surprising a little bit. Ian Rappaport is saying that the Patriots are potentially shopping Kyle Duggar, safety. Kyle Duggar's one of the better safeties in the league, is he not? That would probably be a good guy for someone outside of the Green Bay Packers to maybe target. Lions got rid of a guy named DiCaprio Boodle, don't care. Broncos waived Micah Abraham, don't care. Bills released Jervion Howard. This is where it kind of gets a little interesting for me. So the Jaguars traded Fred Johnson, looks like a tackle, to the Eagles in exchange for a 2026 7th round pick. Shortly thereafter, the Green Bay Packers traded for Darian Kennard, a tackle, in exchange for a 2027 6th round selection. So it's a 2027 pick. So that's the third trade of the day for the Eagles. The Packers are really loaded on offensive line. Like, you want to talk, we've got seven deep of like guys that are like very good. Like our 6-7 guys are first and second round picks. We've also got guys that are like 5th rounders, like Jacob Monk. We've got a lot of depth at offensive line. It makes me wonder, and I'm not saying anything's going to happen. It just makes me wonder if potentially Rasheed Walker's going to be involved in a trade. If Jordan Morgan beat him out, I could definitely see it. I don't think it means that they're trading for Micah Parsons, but I do know that Micah Parsons' trade probably would involve like a Rasheed Walker, because they suck on the offensive line a bit, right? So it might be a good throw-in. I'm not saying that's the centerpiece, people. Calm the fuck down. But I think this is I don't know. He looks like an average-ish player. Like he could be like a swingman tackle. He's not going to be a starter on the team. Definitely not. I mean, you've got Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker and Jordan Morgan, but it's always good to add depth to the offensive line, especially with what Green Bay wants to do, running the ball, protecting Jordan Love. PFF rating wasn't that bad. I'm not saying PFF is the end-all, be-all, but when it comes to offensive linemen, it's sometimes hard to figure out who's good and who's bad by looking at stats. So PFF is one of the things I like to use when it comes to offensive linemen. I don't really need to use it. I can tell who's a good separator, you know what I mean, a good corner, that sort of stuff, just kind of by watching. And that's it. That's basically all we got for today. So an interesting trade. Just has me wondering if the Packers are going to do something tomorrow. As we get to cuts, we're going to see some moves, so it's going to be kind of interesting. Probably more interesting than the trade deadline, I would say. There's usually more movement now than there is at the deadline. Deadline's usually like disappointing, to say the least. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Anyways, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. And oh, I forgot. No. Forgot baseball news. Cal Raleigh, like literally, is in the fucking title. You think that'd be like the first thing I go over, right? But Cal Raleigh set a record today. So 49 home runs in a season is the most that a catcher has ever done. I believe that's what they're saying. I have no reason to argue it. People chanting MVP, I still think that's going to go to Aaron Judge, because I don't think Cal Raleigh's been having a great defensive year, to be honest. Pretty impressive, but definitely not sustainable. You'll never see him have a year like this ever again, not to take anything away from him, but I think the most home runs he hit prior to this season was 27 or 29, so definitely impressive to see. I like Cal Raleigh, so I'm not going to talk shit about him. All right, we'll be back at it tomorrow. We're going to try Age of Empires 4 out, I do believe. But that's it. That's it from the Thunderclad. That's all we got for today. Have a good night, Sage, and anyone else that's watching. See you tomorrow.